What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Spanko, and today we're back with Tony.
Wow.
It's the new year.
That's new me. That's what they'd say.
Yeah, you know what he has? 15 cards in his extra deck. We counted.
Hold on.
I think it's 15.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
We're good. We're good.
15,
Okay, let's
15
go. Yeah, no, you go ahead. Talk about your profile. You've done this before. You know what you're doing. Go ahead.
Okay, so I think I've done enough profiles here to get the general gist. I build weird decks. I build fun decks.
Yep.
This one a little less fun. It's Burning Abyss. I've had a lot of fun playing this deck. Like, you can make Dantes. You can make like sometimes you end on like crazy boards like Appaloosa, Thunder Dragon Colossus, but most of the time you just make Dante. But I thought this was like a more consistent version of, I guess, Rock BA.
Okay, yeah.
Because I just didn't like the fact that in that deck, it was so reliant on getting Block Dragon to make half your plays. If you didn't get Block Dragon, your deck was just a run-of-the-mill BA deck that hoped to have kind of a Saki advantage.
Yeah, I get what you're trying
I
to
wanted
say.
something that gave me a concrete play either way with this deck.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, here's BA.
Kind of. Okay.
Okay. So I think everyone knows at least the general BA engine here. There's a few differences though. I do play 3 Skarm.
Yep.
Skarm is actually somewhat more important than these ones sometimes is because the Skarm gets me into the one card I need to do other things with the deck.
Yep.
It's a searcher. It gets me into my plays. It's never bad. It's something that lets me end on. It lets me end on my BA monsters without having to keep going with special summons.
Yep.
We'll play 3 Farfa because Disruption in this card has never looked so good.
Yep.
It's another name. It's another special summon. We play the 1 Alich, we play the 1 Libic, we play the 1 Cowcab,
Yep.
and with the 1 Barbar. I have gamed people more with this than I ever thought I would, so I kept it in here. And we have the 1 Rubik because sometimes if Needle Fiber or when Needle Fiber comes out now, I would definitely want one of them.
Okay, so this deck, I should mention, like you were telling me before, it's technically pre-Master Rule 5, but it can be played the same way post-Master Rule 5.
Yeah, the arrows things where matters when you make Link monsters, but the thing is, ultimately everything else you make is up to you.
Okay.
Actually, I think it's even better outside of Master Rule 5.
Yeah, of course.
But like, I guess for the people who just started playing the game, so let me explain how the BAs work. All the BAs have common effects. First off, if you control no spell traps, you can special summon the BAs from your hand.
Yep.
Second effect, if you control something that isn't a BA, they'll blow themselves up. Third effect, if they're sent to the graveyard in any way, they each do a different thing. Graph summons itself another BA from deck. Seer summons a BA from your graveyard. Skarm, on the end of the turn, you search for a level 3 Dark Fiend.
Yep.
Farfa banishes one card one monster your opponent controls until the end of the turn. Alich negates a monster effect. Libic summons a fiend from your hand, but its effects are negated.
AKA doesn't get destroyed if you have another monster.
Right, so if let's say you summon a BA and you have another monster, the effects are negated, so it lives.
Yep.
Barbar bounces a set spell trap card. Barbar lets you banish up to 3 BAs from your graveyard, burn for 300 each.
Yep.
And Rubik is just a tuner.
Yeah, it's Needle Fiber bait.
Yes.
Basically.
So you use these because they're names, they make boards, but they also are just a consistent engine to make level 3s.
Okay.
Moving on, we obviously have our 3 Phoenix Rhino. Rhino is super important. If you open Rhino and any BA, you have massive board advantage.
Yep.
But Rhino's effect is, 1, on the field, Phoenix monster you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. So another way to get your BAs to just live outside of having non-BA. Second effect, if it's sent to the graveyard, you dump any fiend.
Yep.
And this is good because you're sometimes not only dumping fiends, you're going to be dumping something very different. The 1 Tour Guide, because they're all dark fiends.
Yep.
They're all level 3 fiends. And then this card. This is where it gets wonky. We have 1 Chaos Betrayer. Chaos Betrayer is a fiend that has an effect where if it's in the graveyard, you can banish 1 light and 1 dark monster, summon it from your graveyard. And when you do that, you banish 1 card from your opponent's graveyard.
Okay.
So it has a lot of cool synergy in this deck, but the idea is you're going to be using this to, you're going to be dumping this sometimes off of Rhino to have an additional monster for Link plays.
Okay.
Next up, we get 2 Jackalope and 2 Tsuchinoko.
Just level 3.
Just the level 3 versions. I didn't like playing I didn't really need the discard as much, but I definitely wanted to have the level 3 on the field because it's important for a lot of my extract plays, namely specifically making Dante or making Cherry Bean.
That makes sense.
We'll play 1 Gallus, partially because I could only afford 1, but 2 because I really didn't think I needed more special summons that weren't BAs at the time.
Okay, that makes sense.
And now this is where we get real wonky. We play 2 Carbonetin.
Right,
Remember this card?
Yes, sir.
This is back to like the Overraptor days, but when 1, it's a level 3, so there's some synergy there. But the effect is, if it's in the graveyard, you can banish it to summon any normal dragon?
I think so.
Or normal monster from your deck. I actually, for some reason, have it. It's a level 7 or lower normal dragon monster. And that is particularly important because you'll be using this to summon out Galaxy Serpent, a level 2 tuner.
Yep.
And you'll be using this to make the rest of the plays, which involve 1, a World Chalice Guard Dragon.
Yep. So
2.
I see Ib. I feel Ib. Is it Ib?
It's Ib.
It's Ib.
It's Ib's coming.
Okay.
But we also have a Safer.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And then we have a Brotar.
Okay.
We have a Collapse Serpent and a Wyvern Burster. We have a Levianeer. We then have a Thunder Dragon Dark Roar, a Thunder Dragon Dark, and a Thunder Dragon Hawk.
So this is like a Thunder Dragon engine.
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
We're going to be making Guard Dragon plays in BA.
Oh.
Because
That's different.
it is very different. And the idea behind this is that with these specific cards, you only need to open either a Tour Guide, a Rhino, or 3 BAs, and then your board, you can end on, I believe, a board of Appaloosa, Colossus at minimum, and then whatever you get off from there is up to your personal skill level.
Okay.
We have the 1 World Legacy Guard Dragon. I think everyone knows at this point, if you're playing meta, how it works. You bring back a dragon, you can move zones. 1 Ravine, because Ravine. 1 Foolish Barrel, because you're playing B, so you could dump them. 1 World Legacy Succession, because if you draw into this, you always want to search something off your Ib.
Yep.
A Reborn, because if you like this card, you're definitely gonna love this card.
Yep.
The 1 Called by the Grave, I really didn't have anything that was like hand strappable as much as I thought it was, so this wasn't as important, but I played it just because I wanted some extra cards in here. And finally, this is the card that I could play because I'm playing BA, 3 Drag Down to the Grave.
Yep.
So this card, I think, for a lot of people who don't know, what it works is that you look at your opponent's hand and they look at your hand, and you both take out a card and then you both draw a card.
Yep.
In most situations, you use it to take out a Nibiru because that card makes your
the
day horrible.
Yep.
In certain and because your deck is pretty much cards that trigger in the graveyard or cards that really don't care. Also, mind you, this triggers the danger. So if your only card is the danger,
because it discards, right?
yeah. So realistically, you don't really care what they take out of your hand if you got rid of everything that you don't want in your hand.
Yep.
And at worst, you then draw a card. So sometimes it can even fix your hand. The worst case scenario is though when you look at your opponent's hand, they don't have a hand trap. You take something out, and then they draw into Nibiru.
Okay.
That is a risk. Consult your doctor.
But
before
it's a good
using
risk.
that.
It's a good risk when you think about it. Like it's either you lose to Nibiru or
You make Nibiru.
yeah.
And at that point, at least you say you didn't lose to your opponent, you lost to yourself.
Exactly. There you go.
I killed me.
Oh, is this a 40 card main deck, by the way?
This is a 44 card main deck.
44.
I've gone a little over because I wanted to put in the drag downs,
Yep.
and that's why I went a little over. You can go even higher. The deck is pretty flexible on what you need, considering the amount of you just need
Because
to
you're
be able to make
consistently
certain
milling
monsters.
cards too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the deck doesn't really have a specific hand you want to open,
Yep.
but it has enough cards where you can open just about anything and still make a board with them.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
All right.
All right.
Move on to the extra deck. We can start off with, I guess, the thing that everyone recognizes, the 2 Dante.
Yep.
Dante, I think everyone knows where the idea is that you can detach one material from this card, mill 3.
Yep.
Or declare 1 of 3, mill that number, and it gains 500 attack for each card milled. It also, if it attacks, turns defense. If it's sent to the graveyard, you'll be adding a BA from your graveyard to your hand. And you'll be using this constantly to loop through your seers and that. And like when your combo is done and this is all you have left, you can grind out your opponent by just looping this to make more link plays. You have the 1 Beatrice, because Beatrice is what you use with Dante. You discard a BA, summon this on top of a Dante. It's Foolish Burial.
Yep.
And if it dies, you can summon another BA, but most time I never get that far. Moving on to the Link monsters, however, this is where it gets interesting. We have Guard Dragon LP and a Guard Dragon Pisty.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so
This is your Guard Dragon engine.
This is my Guard Dragon engine. We also have a Land for Linkus, because sometimes you just need 2 arrows.
Yep.
You have the 1 Nightmare Phoenix, the 1 Romulus, the 1 Cherubini. The Cherubini is really important because the way Cherubini works is that you requires 2 level 3 monsters, and you can send any level 3 monster to the graveyard and then pump itself by the attack of that card. It also has an effect where the arrows it points to, anything that's in those arrows cannot be restored by card effects.
AKA the BAs.
Yeah, pretty much the BAs.
Save
but it's the
themselves.
level 3 effect, that dumping effect, that's going to be real important in the combo I'm going to go into.
Okay.
Then we have 1 Unicorn. Let me clarify something. This should be an IP Masquerena. I don't own one, but if it was, it's an IP Masquerena.
That makes sense.
1 Saryuja, draw power. 1 of Appaloosa. You can end on this a lot. 1 Colossus, because if you're playing Thunder Dragons, you're going to have this eventually.
Yep.
1 Trishula. I think you've seen this previously before.
Yep.
And the Playmaker of all Ib.
All right. One question before you get into the combo. When Needle Fiber comes out, what do you think you're going to be taking out for Needle Fiber?
Honestly, this is gonna sound real weird. It's probably gonna be the IP Masquerena.
Ah, okay.
The IP Masquerena is an end state for you when you make your boards. It is just an additional form of disruption. But to be honest, there's probably better options at that point when you can just make Needle Fiber.
Yeah, because Needle Fiber can just make you better boards anyways to begin with, right?
Yeah. Same thing with if I'm actually modifying the deck for Needle Fiber, I'd be putting a Steam the Cloak.
Oh, okay. That makes
It's
sense.
a level 3, but it's a level 3 that makes a level, like, that makes more.
That makes a lot more. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so do you want to get into the combo?
Sure. I'm going to have to actually power shuffle this deck because this is one of those combos where it's easy to show you if I actually
Just draw.
draw things.
Okay.
So, well, I guess we'll get back to, like...
3, 2, 1. Pew. All right. All right. He's done shuffling, and now you would draw cards.
Okay, so I'm going to draw my 5. Let's see. We have... Oh, wow, open tour guide. Cool.
There you go.
Tsuchinoko, a Seer, a Reborn, and this. This is... wow, this is great. I'm not even going to need the Seer for this combo. That's even hot. So, let's put our field center here.
These are Dio Field Center.
Yep.
Dio.
So, we're going to start off by normally summon tour guide.
Yep.
Tour guide will summon your graph.
Yep.
This is your starting board. We also have this. We'll get into this later. This is going to be your extenders. You're going to link these two away. Make Cherubini.
Yep.
Graph will trigger in the graveyard to summon a level 3 BA. Because I'm Scarm to this zone.
Yep.
You're going to activate Cherubini's effect. Dump 1 level 3. You're going to dump your Carbonet.
Okay.
You're going to banish Carbonet to summon 1 Galaxy Serpent to the other zone. And you can summon in any zone, really, as long as this is not going to blow up, so we're fine.
Yep.
You're then going to synchro with these two to make your Ib.
Yep.
Ib will search you. Lo and behold, your World Legacy Guard Dragon. Now, you can feel free to summon these at this point. It doesn't really... I'll keep these in hand.
Yep.
You're going to activate your World Legacy Guard Dragon to bring back your Galaxy Serpent.
Yep.
You're going to link away your Guard Dragon, or Legacy Guard Dragon, or your Galaxy Serpent.
Yep.
To summon... Wait, this source here. To summon an LP.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You're then going to use the World Legacy Guard Dragon to shift your LP.
Okay, yeah.
You're going to activate your LP effect now. Summon Safer.
Yep.
And I think we know from if you play Guard Dragons where this goes. You're going to tribute your Safer. Search out Black Dragon. You're going to bash your Black Dragon. Your Safer to summon the Black Dragon.
Yep.
Now, you're going to link all 4 of these away to make Saryuja.
Yep.
And
So now your combo depends on what you draw, right?
this combo now depends on how I draw this. But in this specific case here, I'm going to do with there's 3 chain links. You have chain link 1, the Saryuja, chain link 2, the Black Serpent, and chain link 3, the Ib.
Yep.
So where this is, you're going to be summoning out a bunch of things first. So first, you're going to summon out your World Chalice Guard Dragon.
Yep.
Then you're going to actually search out.
You're chaining it this way so that you don't draw into these cards, right?
Yeah.
You want to just...
I want to be able to get these. I don't want to end up drawing them because at the end of the day, then it just makes them redundant.
Yep.
And then, now I summon that, I draw 4.
So let's see what you draw. Carbonet on...
Okay, so I'm going to put these 3 back because I don't need these just at the moment.
So which ones are you putting back?
I'm going to put back the Carbonetin, the Thunder Dragon, and the Rubik.
Okay.
Because Needle Fiber doesn't exist yet. So now you're going to convert this World Legacy Guard Dragon into a Pisty.
Yep.
You're going to activate Pisty's effect. Send back your Safer.
Yeah, that's pretty broken.
Going to link these 2 away.
Romulus, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay.
Romulus next. Romulus will now search for your Ravine. You're going to activate your Ravine.
By the way, this is all done with 1 tour guide.
Yeah. You activate your Ravine, and because I have a danger here, I'm going to pitch my danger to send Levine here.
Yep.
Danger will trigger, obviously, summon in here. And now, what we can do next is we do a number of things. First off, we're going to banish our Safer.
To add
To add back Levine.
Yep.
Next up, we're just going to banish 3 Darks to summon the Levine.
Yep.
And because we banished 3 Darks, we're taking a card out of your opponent's hand.
So your opponent has 4 cards.
Yes. From there, we can do a number of different things. First off, we can banish the War Legacy War Child's Guard Dragon. Summon back this. We can then also use the effect of Saryuja to summon this.
Holy. Okay.
Alright, next up, we have enough monsters to go into a bit of a link play here. We're going to link these 4 away.
So a second Saryuja?
No, we're not going to go that far. We're going to make Appaloosa.
That would be funny though. Imagine.
Oh man, that would have been great. I would have been so happy if I could just keep drawing like this. But we can do some interesting things. So now this will trigger the Rhino,
Yep.
and now this is where you would dump your Chaos Betrayer.
This also has four counters on it.
Yeah, so this has 4 negates so far. From here on, we still have a lot of monsters. We're going to banish the Dark, summon your Wyverburster.
Yep.
You're going to use this Wyverburster and these 3, banishing these 3 to summon out Trishilla.
Oh my god.
Now you're banishing 1 card from your opponent's extra deck because you use 3 dragons, but you're also going to be using this to banish your Roar. Now Roar is banished as well. Roar is now going to activate and summon out Yay Dark.
Yep.
Now that you have Dark on the board, we have a few very interesting options that we can work with here. We can now proceed to either link these 2 away to make that glorious IP Masquerena. And that's a good option there. With the IP Masquerena here and the Dark triggering, Dark will grab Hawk.
Yep.
I'll discard Hawk to summon back my Roar from Graveyard, slinking away, summon Colossus here.
Yep.
Now we have one more zone here, and we have a few weird things that we can do to see if we can keep going from here. For one, I'm going to Reborn back the Rhino.
Yep.
Now we have a Rhino here. I can Foolish. Now if I could Foolish into something interesting, if only I had a way to get some more boards, more plays on the board. But let's say, for example, I'm just going to dump a Libic.
Yep.
If with Libic, I can now summon
See ya.
Seer. And now we have the option of now overlaying these 2 into a Dante.
Yep.
So now,
and Seer doesn't die, by the way, because Libic negates effect.
yes.
Just so people know.
Also, Rhino's on the field, and that's always
Oh
nice
yeah, and then
topic.
Rhino stops as well. Yeah.
Right.
So regardless.
And now, with all this on board, you have now, this is one of your specific end boards. If, for example, in that specific combo, that wasn't a Foolish Barrow, but another BA or another way for me to summon, what I could do is I could make a Dante, and then use that specific BA to turn this into a Beatrice.
Yeah.
But regardless, say, suppose this is the IP Masquerena.
Yeah.
Go into your opponent's turn, you have 4 negates on this, no searching.
Good question. You don't want to mill on your turn, or
I don't really need to mill, because like the Seer won't do anything. It won't. There's nothing it brings back.
Okay,
This
yeah.
already uses effect. But what's going to actually end up happening is that now, let's say my opponent decides to, I don't know, make a board.
Yep.
I can go IP Masquerena, slink with this away. Also, mind you, I get a M-Face Scarm Search. So let's say I get, I don't know,
literally anyone far from you. Or,
Alich actually is nice. So now my opponent makes a board.
Yep.
I have at least this 1 card in hand. I'm going to IP Masquerena these 2 away. Summon Unicorn.
Yep.
And Unicorn's effect is Chainlink 1. Chainlink 2 is going to be Seer. Chainlink 3 is going to be Rhino. Chainlink 4 is going to be Dante. And I'm going to pitch the Alich.
Yep.
So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to bounce a card.
Yep.
Seer's going to bring back my Dante.
Dante's gonna add back Seer.
Dante's going to add back Seer. Rhino is going to then mill a Farfa. And then both Farfa and Alich trigger, banishing another monster on the field, and then negating the effects of another monster on the field.
And you still have 4 negates, and they can't search.
Yes.
With 1 tour guide.
With 1 tour guide. Mind you, everything post the draw of Saryuja, I made just to make this card.
Yeah.
Anything, these 3 specific things here, the IP Masquerena and these 2, were made purely off of just the 1 tour guide combo.
Yeah. Everything else, like, you can make this board bigger or smaller depending on what you draw. Like, you drew the Thunder Dragon, which was really good for you, for example. Right?
Yeah, like, even if let's say I didn't draw the Thunder Dragon,
Yeah.
that was actually somewhat of an unfortunate situation, where at that point, I can even special the Thunder Dragon off the Saryuja, or, if I didn't draw the Thunder Dragon, let's say I drew into a Danger,
Yeah.
or then again, I could end on Beatrice and IP Masquerena.
Yeah,
and that
if you
would
draw
be,
another, there you go. That's even
Yeah.
better, right? Because
'Cause
Beatrice
then-
will send Farfa on your opponent's turn, whatever you need to do.
Right, and then you still have all this on your turn. Mind you, because you haven't made Beatrice, on your turn coming forward, you could discard this to turn this into a Beatrice.
And then I'm pretty sure this is just OTK.
This is a straight up OTK on board.
Beautiful.
You mind you, like, you still got like 2 cards in your extra deck, so If your opponent outs this, well,
you're kind of stuck.
you've gone too far.
But the point of the deck is to make a board that your opponent can't out.
Yeah. Mind you, they're starting now with 5. They're starting with only the 5 cards, 1 card of the extra deck, and you're starting off with at least this.
Yep. So they're really behind at this point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. I mean, Tony is always coming up with this stuff that literally sounds like crazy.
Oh yeah, I also forgot you have a Chaos Betrayer in your graveyard.
They could do even more work with.
If they really somehow made an Orcust play, well, there's your Orcust out.
Yeah, there you go. So there you go. This guy always coming up with the craziest combos. All right, thank you, Tony, for the deck profile. I appreciate it. Thank you for the combo as well. I'm not gonna lie, he asked me, or he told me he was gonna show me the combo before the video, and I was like, no, I want to get surprised. And yeah, this is definitely surprising. This is a good, like, amazing board. So yeah, thank you for that. Do you want to say anything real quick?
One last thing. So, today I bought 3 packs of the most recent Yu-Gi-Oh set.
Yep.
This is the first week of that I gone to locals since the start of the new year. And my plan is...
Today is January, I don't know if it's going to focus, but January 4th. But.
January 4th.
Yeah.
From here on in, every time I go to locals, I'm going to buy 3 packs of the most recent set. At the end of 2020, I will have approximately enough packs where I'm going to be playing sealed with whoever's at my locals on that day of everything I have saved up since then.
So at the end of 2020, if you guys are still around in 1 more year, expect a lot of packs to be opened on the channel, right? Alright, so we're going to open a lot of packs, and Tony is going to make a deck with just what he pulled from the packs throughout the entire year.
Yeah, I'm going to try to make something. Let's see if I have any friends who will want to like make something with this. It's going to be a fun game.
Alright, perfect. Thank you, Tony, so much for the profile and the combo again. I'll see you in 2021 when we do that crazy. Actually, I'll probably see you like next week or something. But
probably have a few more. I have a few more things on the back burner. I have one more thing. I have a Galaxy deck that I want to show off eventually, but well, when I get there, I'll figure that out.
Perfect. All right, guys. If you enjoyed, like this video, subscribe to the channel. With that, Spanko and Tony signing out. Peace.
I feel ready, but my legs heavy. I don't get it. How come I haven't hit it already? Still working, I'm still learning, I'm still searching, finally earning something, finally turning something called a profit. If I hear you talking shit, don't get caught in it. I'll be popping off and hit your ass, dropping all your shit. Yeah, I promise this. I got promises. You ain't stopping this. Cross my shit.